Coming up on the Locked On Ole Miss podcast, we start to look at other visits that are happening with the coaches right now. Where's Lane Kiffin going? Also, we'll give you an update on the Jaxson Dart and Michael Trigg saga, including who's visiting with him right now. And we'll go with Tom Vanderford to get his perspective on what's going on in Ole Miss Sports. This is the Locked On Ole Miss podcast.
You are Locked On Ole Miss, your daily podcast on the Ole Miss Rebels, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
All right, welcome to the Locked On Ole Miss podcast. I am your host, Stephen Willis. Thank you very much for tuning in. We're having a good time. I hope you enjoy your Friday. Today is my baby sister's birthday, so I have to remember to give her a call because, you always call home on your sister's birthday. So happy birthday, Wendy. Hope it is going well. Now, I do want to say thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. Do me a favor, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and hit the like. Do all three of those things. If you hit the bell, you'll get the notifications and know that not just what video is playing, but which video is playing. We'll actually tell you what it is. You can actually tell. Their notification system is pretty good. So there is that. So thank you very much for tuning in. So where are the coaches going? That's always a question of what's going on. And because of that, let's see. I almost forgot to put the audio layer in on this thing that I'm about to put up, which would have made me go quiet. So I'm sorry about that. So today, Lane Kiffin is going out to Athens, Georgia on a private jet to talk to Jermaine Burton. Here is the tweet. Jermaine Burton is a wide receiver at Georgia. He is a major playmaker, and he's one of the top guys in the portal. Now, he's being recruited by Alabama, by LSU, by Texas A&M. So all the big boys are in on this guy. So this is a lottery ticket at best. But the fact remains that we invested time in going out there. And they obviously want to do that and get that before. You have to think that if Ole Miss thinks they're getting Jaxson Dart, you just want to put that bug in Jermaine Burton's head. Because he has a chance to be a very good slot receiver. Now, they're very happy with Jalen Knox. And everybody's talking about, and everybody worries about, hey, why are you trying to replace this guy? We got this guy here, whatever. Competitors compete. We used to tell everybody at Ole Miss that for the duration of your time here, we are going to try and recruit you to the bench. How you react to that is a test. If you don't act the right way, they're okay with you going, hey, go have fun, do what you need to do. If you're willing to compete and you're willing to fight for it, that's the type of person they want on the team. So just beware what's going on. That's the same thing with Jaxson Dart. That's the same thing with Jermaine Burton. Everybody, you're always trying to recruit whoever's on the field to the bench because eventually that will turn out to be a very good thing. So just giving you a heads up on that. So, but there's Jermaine Burton. Now, when we come back in the next part of the show after the break, we will tell you what's going on out in Utah because that saga is still going on. We are still waiting. And I know I'm making you wait to the middle of the show for that, but we are going to talk about that, including who's there, who might be coming there, and what we have planned for the future if anything happens. Because I think something's probably going to happen this weekend. So after this show, so between now and Monday's show, if something happens, we will do a bonus episode. So we're not going to leave you in a lurch, but we will do a bonus episode breaking down what happens if what happens matches what I think is going to happen. Not period. If he commits to BYU, so be it. But if he commits to Ole Miss, we will do a breakdown video and things like that. We'll also have the post-game pod video for the Ole Miss Mississippi State game this weekend. Big game for the Rebels against the Bulldogs, who are trying to get any win they can in the series right now. It's getting pretty desperate time down in Starkville. when it comes to this series. But Jermaine Burton got a visit from Lane Kiffin today in Athens. I don't know if Jermaine Burton is going to fly in and visit Ole Miss this weekend, because that's probably what it is. Lane Kiffin goes out and tries to get a visit. If he visits, they have a chance. It's not, like I said, it's a lottery ticket. Really good player. But if you want to look at it realistically, he probably is the replacement for Jamison Williams and John Mechie at Alabama. Somebody to go with Bryce Young, because they have a hole in the wide receiver room. If you looked at what happened in the national championship game, they didn't have the weapons they normally do. Not that anything's wrong with that, but it is kind of what it is. So there it is, the putt to win the tournament. If you sink it, the championship is yours. But on your backswing, your hat falls over your eyes. Is this how you're running your business? Poor visibility because you're still relying on spreadsheets and outdated finance software? To see the full picture, you need to upgrade to NetSuite by Oracle. Over 28,000 businesses already use NetSuite. For the new year, NetSuite has offered a financing program for those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/locked. Again, head to netsuite.com/locked for this special one-of-a-kind offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. That's netsuite.com/locked. It's pretty great. Handle that and go to NetSuite, because I think they're the #1 financial system to power your growth. And yeah, like 93% of surveyed businesses have increased their visibility and control after upgrading to NetSuite. So it's a pretty good deal. All right, let's get into the saga. And if you want to know what the saga is, yesterday's podcast with Karen McCutcheon, we talked about the social media thing that was going on with Jaxson Dart and Michael Trigg. Let's get into that. And right now, as of 7 o'clock on Thursday night, John David Baker and Charlie Weiss Jr. is there. Now, the rumor is that the official visit, or the single head coach trip, has not been used by Lane Kiffin. If that is in fact true, that means Lane Kiffin can go out tonight to see them. Take a private jet from Jermaine Burton in Athens, Georgia, which we said is like a lottery ticket, and then go out to Utah. Now, this is my question. Everybody wants to know what's going on, how it's been, like what is happening, what is taking so long. If Lane Kiffin wasn't supremely confident, would he leave that coach's visit on the table? And then tonight is just kind of close the deal. This could be a brilliant work of strategy, considering Brent Venables visited Monday night. Oklahoma, it seems, tried to wrap this up early, and you should never discount BYU. Just like you should never discount Ole Miss for a Manning. You should never discount BYU for this kid. He could absolutely end up there, and it would not be a surprise. There would be some people that do it just because they have assumptions of what's going on without all the information. That's what's happening. You got a whole bunch of people with like 10% of the information trying to piece together a full picture. So what they say is surprises may not actually be surprised, but never count out BYU for this kid, just like you wouldn't count out a Manning going to Ole Miss. So it is a really big deal, especially if Lane goes out there tonight and if they can close the deal tomorrow night. And this weekend they fly to Oxford, they go to class Monday, everything's good to go. I think that's the plan. Now this is the weird part. Everybody is getting more and more antsy as this goes on. I think everybody's used to high school recruiting to where a kid is more impulsive. There's an impulsive nature to what they're doing. Everybody talks about the social media that Dart and Trigg are doing, and we had a show last night on that very thing. But we have to remember, these kids are the class of 2021, which means their visits and their recruiting got taken from them. They didn't have them. This is their chance to go through this for the first time, and they're enjoying it. And I do not fault a kid for that, because You have a chance to make right, make right. Have fun. Get your picture taken. Do it all you need to do. Play games on social media. Live it up like a impulsive high school recruit, even though you're going through this technically again. But Ole Miss is handling this like this is all part of the plan. That's what I don't understand. As this week goes on, there seems to be less and less certainty of what's happening. On all sides, the Oklahoma side, the BYU side, the Ole Miss side, the whole thing. There's less and less certainty the longer this goes on. But Ole Miss is handling this almost as if they know the answer already. Now, this might work. This might be good. This might be everything. But the fact they go see Jermaine Burton before he goes out to Utah, that is a major tell. In fact, that they were probably going to use Jaxson Dart as a bargaining chip. Now, I don't know what's going on the recruiting trail. I worked at Rivals for 10 years. I've been through all kinds of recruiting things. And as this goes on longer and longer and longer, I fall victim to the narrative just like everybody else. There's a certain group of people that are going to panic, and the next group of people are going to panic. And the next thing you know, there's going to be a huge panic. They're already talking right now about why can't Ole Miss get a quarterback or a wide receiver on campus? Well, they do have a wide receiver on campus. His name is Jalen Watkins. He's already transferred in. And they're trying to get their quarterback. And if for some reason Jaxson Dart goes somewhere else, it's not the end of the world. But Ole Miss is not going to recruit a name at that point. Because you have a really good quarterback on campus. Don't forget that. Everybody likes what's new. Everybody loves what's new. And you just think about, oh, boom, boom, boom. I'm no exception. But there's a good quarterback already on campus. So if they do not get Jaxson Dart, you will see them pivot to somebody that might be a group of 5 starting quarterback. That might be a low-level Power 5 starting quarterback. Something to keep an eye on. Because Luke Altmaier is a good quarterback. That has not changed. That has never changed. In this show, we have never wavered on that fact. This is all about competition, one way or another. We want Luke Altmaier, if he wins the job, to win a highly competitive job. We don't just want it handed to him. We want Jaxson Dart, if he's the quarterback, to win a highly competitive job, not just have it handed to him. So that's something to keep an eye on. So when we come back after this, we'll have Tom Vanderford. He'll give us his perspective on all things Ole Miss football. BetOnline would like to wish you a happy betting new year as we continue our march to the playoffs and beyond. BetOnline remains the number one spot for all the best sports wagering action of 2022. New year and new updated desktop and mobile design. Sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code LOCKEDON to get started. From football, basketball, hockey, boxing, and UFC to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available in 2022. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts. All right, we continue with our Perspectives feature with Tom Vanderford here to talk about basically his reaction to everything going on in Ole Miss football. Having a weird week. This has been a social media packed week, and everybody's refreshing and everybody's tense. How you doing, Tom?
Doing great.
Yeah. What has been your favorite part of this week and why?
The left tackle.
The left tackle, you Mason Brooks fan?
Yeah, well, not just the fact that he is going to be our left tackle and we can move Brecker into guard. Okay. You win at the line of scrimmage. Mm-hmm. And I'm just not getting carried away with all the Dart, Trigg, Daniels, all that stuff. I've just got faith that Kiffin's going to have a quarterback. He's not going to have a quarterback room of 2. He's going to have more options there than just Luke. And if Luke wins it, great. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I just got a little bit of faith in him. I do like that all these big time receivers are all of a sudden going into the portal. I saw where he was in Athens today talking to someone, I'm assuming he's trying to get his foot in the door with number 7 there with Burton. But who knows? Who knows? He may be talking to JT Daniel too. Who knows? Who knows? It's funny because everybody's just all around the web. They're just guessing.
Absolutely. Everybody has sources. It's the most ridiculous thing. We talked about today on this show, Kiffin being out in Georgia, trying to talk to Jermaine Burton. And my theory is, and I don't know if this holds water with you or not, but if for some reason Jaxson Dart goes someplace other than Ole Miss, the quarterback that Ole Miss signs will not be a name. It would be somebody that was like a starting quarterback at the Group of 5 level, because at that point he's good, but it's all about competition from Luke, because at that point Luke becomes the guy you're hoping wins the job.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know if McCall is from Coastal has went anywhere yet, or the kid from Marshall has went anywhere yet, but those are 2 possibilities as well.
Yeah, the kid from Marshall went to Virginia Tech, and McCall has committed to come back to Coastal. So it would probably be somebody in that level, but it's probably somebody we haven't heard of.
Right.
And something going on like that. So it'll be interesting to see. All is not lost with the Jaxson Dart. I think we're in better shape with Trigg. I just don't get the feeling that it's a package deal. I think everybody wants to say it's a package deal, but I think it's only a package deal if it goes to a certain location. Otherwise, I just don't see Trigg going to BYU for whatever reason.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. It's, you've got to take into account that Dart is a Mormon, because that's a big pull. BYU's a big pull, and he's from Utah. So that's a distinct possibility. The good news is that they already have an established quarterback there. And, if he's looking
with the last name Romney
for it, exactly. Yeah. so, I don't know. I just, I'm not too worried about it. I think, like you said, something will happen, and Lane will make it work.
Yeah, we're going to be
fine. If he can make Sims a quarterback, he can make anybody a quarterback.
Yeah, and like I said, we've been constant on the show of being a Luke Altmaier fan, and all we wanted was competition. And whenever I was at Ole Miss and working on there, when the staff would recruit a player, he would tell the player right then, we're going to try to recruit you to the bench if you become a starter. And how they react to that is a test. And competitors compete. And if a player immediately wants to run upon being challenged, he probably isn't the right player for what you want. If Luke Altmaier, which he is not going to shy away with this. Luke thinks he can beat out anybody we bring on campus. But if he would have
That's a great attitude.
Yeah, if he were to wilt and immediately look to go elsewhere, this is an SEC program. You don't want somebody like that calling plays.
Yeah, exactly. It's better to find out now than later, right?
Yeah, and it's all about stressing him different ways, because he absolutely flashed in that Sugar Bowl. And
he did.
Yeah, in that third quarter, at the end of that third quarter, I was like, oh my goodness, something special is about to happen here. This is very Eli Manning versus West Virginia happening right now. And yeah, and I'd like to see what he looks like in spring practice and everything going on. And I'm excited about this year. And got Zach Evans and all those players defensively. Oh, by the way, if anybody has any questions, we're not changing scheme defensively. We're bringing in transfers to fit the 3-2-6. They're not going to change it.
We wouldn't have brought in Akeem if we were going back to a 4-3 or whatever. We wouldn't have brought him in.
Yeah, and so, I think at the end positions there's going to be some stuff with Tywan Malone and JJ Pegues. I'm really excited about JJ Pegues.
Oh, me too, man.
Really excited about JJ Pegues.
Me too.
And then you got Xavier Harris and Katie Hill at the nose guard, just mountains of men.
Yep.
There's a chance for this defense to do really special things and really improve, because I think they were in the top 60 in scoring defense last year, and they're probably going to make another jump this year. We have a chance to be quite a good defensive unit.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, I think our defense will be better. I think our offense, depending on the situation at QB, it will be serviceable. And Lane Kiffin's going to put up points. He's gonna find the mismatches. He's going to put up points. I really like Trigg. I hope that he's able to come. He's a field stretcher type of tight end, and I think that helps the offense. And Lane's always done good with tight ends. So, and Wolf, he's special. So Hudson Wolf. So. I like our offense. Like I said, I would love for Luke to be the starter, but it's like I told one of my friends. I said, "What if Luke gets hurt? Who's up next? If Luke Altmaier gets hurt, who's up next right now?" And
my big fear going into the Sugar Bowl, before we saw Luke, was a 2004 Michael Spurlock type situation. To where you hear all these stories about him doing great, and then the lights come on, and it's just a little bit too bright for him. We saw in the Sugar Bowl that wasn't necessarily the case.
Exactly.
So I feel better about it, but I still want somebody in that room. I want somebody, whoever wins the job and is the quarterback in the fall, I want to know that they've just gone through something and got it. Yeah, that's all I want to know.
Yeah. And like you said, one injury and then it's next man up, and we've got to have some depth in that quarterback room.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But let's see. We haven't signed a kicker. I don't know.
I think maybe he thinks Caden's going to win his appeal.
I don't
maybe he does.
Though. Yeah.
The kid at Florida, the quarterback at Florida, didn't win his.
Yeah.
He had to set out a whole year. So
how often didn't know that was wrong? How often has that worked?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. Never. Yeah. So, but he might have something up his sleeve. You never know with this guy.
Yeah.
He keeps everything so close to the vest. I mean, I am sure that the Pegues transfer was in the works a week before we knew anything about it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's probably feelers put out in November.
Oh, yeah.
Some other time, early in the season, right at the end of the season, there's conversations that would probably happen. Probably not between Lane and the player, but the player and the high school coach that got the message to him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
So it just is what it is. Let's see. What else we got going on? Do you want to talk about the basketball program? Good grief.
Oh, good Lord. I don't know what to think. I mean, we've got a lot of talent. Just like some observations you make. Pardon?
And they flash. You can see them in stretches where they look really good.
They do flash. They're just in, and we've got, and a lot of it's young. I understand that. And they've got to learn how to go through adversity in a game. If you're up 12 points and they come back and they tie the game, they've got to learn how to push through that and get that lead back and sustain it. And that's the one thing that I've noticed this year that we're not really good at.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time with this basketball team, the only way out is through. They have to figure this out themselves. There is nothing they can do to get around it. They have to figure out how to do this. And maybe it'll start Saturday against Mississippi State. Maybe it'll start Monday against Florida. Who knows? But, I mean, there's 3 top 50 players, and they absolutely flash. This team, whenever they can front run and things are going pretty well, this is a pretty good little basketball team. But as soon as something goes wrong, they just fall completely apart. It might be the most fragile team I've ever seen.
I completely agree. They are like you said, they can go out. I mean, they played Auburn tough and then wilted. They looked horrible against Missouri. Oh my goodness, they couldn't do anything right. Now, to Missouri's credit, they had an awesome night too, and that happens a lot of times in basketball,
Yeah, it just.
But like you said, we've got 3 guys that by all rights are going to end up playing in the NBA on this roster. That's a possibility. And we're 9-7, man. I just,
Yeah, like I said, it's just youth. They need to learn how to play together.
Yeah.
You have a true freshman point guard that is in his 4th or 5th college game at this point.
Right.
There's a lot of growing that needs to be happening. When people want to talk about firing Kermit and they're starting to build the crescendo going down that road.
Right.
I just don't see it because this whole team is injured. Right now we have a 7-man rotation. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's just difficult. But like I said, the only way out is through, and they're going to see some adversity this year, grow from it, be better for next year.
Yeah, I think Keith Carter will. He's kind of in tune with basketball for obvious reasons, and I think he realizes that there are issues that are beyond Kermit's control, and I don't think Kermit's seat's warm at all. I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't think it's warm at all.
No, I don't think so either. Anyway, thanks for making the Locked On Ole Miss podcast your first listen every day. We are free and available on all platforms. Tune in Monday for hopefully the conclusion of the Jaxson Dart Michael Trigg saga. But now make your second listen Locked On Bets, your daily one-stop shop for all your gambling needs. Locked On Bets, hosted by your boy Q with expert analysis and insight from Lee Sterling. It's free and available on all platforms. That's going to do it for Tom Vanderford. I am Stephen Willis. This has been a great week. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week with more Locked On Ole Miss podcast.